So I deal with people all the time. They've got this great deal. Maybe it's a plot of land that they're going to develop into this amazing complex, or maybe they find this amazing flip that they can do just like that and they're going to make a ton of money. But a lot of times, all these amazing opportunities die on the vine because the person that finds the opportunity doesn't have the funds. So let's discuss that. Let's talk about the different ways an opportunity could be funded. See, I remember a long time ago when I would get an opportunity, I always thought, oh, I can't do that, I don't have enough money. And I would always relate to I don't have enough money as my circle doesn't have enough money, my friends, my family, and the people closest to me. And I bet a lot of you probably have opportunities come across your desk or your life that you don't take advantage of because you say the same thing I used to. Oh, I wish I could do that, but I don't have the money. Well, let's discuss that exact topic because I have literally made some of my life's work all about this, right down to writing this book, The Private Money Guide, which I'll put the link in so you can all get a free copy of this book. But it all starts like this. You've got a deal, and to get that deal, that opportunity, it took you time. That right there is the most valuable thing that you have in your life, time. Myself, I don't find as many opportunities because I don't have the time. So I often look for people like you who have time to go out there and search for an opportunity that is a diamond in the rough, a needle in the haystack. You then find someone like me who has the money, and then we partner, or I become the bank and lend you money. So where does that all start? Well, a lot of times people think if they're going to get an opportunity and bring it to someone to lend them money, they think of traditional sources. First source everybody starts with is their own bank accounts. They'll look at their bank account, they'll look at their 401k, they'll look at all their other accounts and say, oh, I don't have enough money to do that. If you're smart enough, you go to the next phase, which most people would then go to a bank. They would go to a traditional bank, a credit union, a community bank, and they would say, hey, I've got this great opportunity. I would love for you to fund this deal. But a lot of times they fall short there because they don't have the deal prepared in a way that the bank wants to see it. Like this right here, this is a deal, but it has everything. It's called the perfect loan proposal. I'm going to do another video on this, but this would be the way a deal would be structured for a traditional bank or even someone like myself, a private lender. But a lot of times people just don't have the knowledge of how to put that packet together. So when they go to the banker sits behind the desk and sits there and says, great, well, let me give you the personal financial statement. Here's our loan application form. Here's this, here's that. Finish all this stuff and bring that stuff back to us and we'll evaluate and underwrite the deal. Now, how much time did you just waste by not coming prepared to the bank? Well, you wasted time setting up the appointment with the banker. You wasted time actually sitting with the banker. Actually, you wasted both of their time. Then, now you've wasted more time because now you need to leave the bank, go home, create all these documents that they want, then schedule another time with the banker, come in and meet with the banker, that time to present the opportunity that you should have been prepared to present the very first meeting. So how much time was that? A week? 2 weeks? Well, if time is your most valuable resource, that is too much time. But oftentimes, even when you do get to the point where the bank's going to make a decision, you often hear the terrible two-letter word, no. They say they can't fund your deal for this reason or that reason. You don't fit in the little square box. Your debt-to-income ratio is not good. Your credit score is not good. There's a whole menu of reasons a traditional bank will not fund your deal, even if your deal is the greatest deal ever and you've run the numbers on that. So then where do you go? Well, then you got to start looking at other options. So if your deal qualifies, maybe you'll go out and you'll look at grants. Sometimes you can get a grant for your deal, but you're going to have more time to close on that deal because grants don't happen fast. And oftentimes you could go out and you could find angel investors. You might find a group of angel investors where they've pooled their money together and they're going to lend on your deal. You could go out and crowdfund it. There are crowdfunding sources. So you can go out and just put your opportunity out to a whole bunch of people and hope a few people put in 20, 50, $100 and you raise enough. But most opportunities that come across your desk have a limited time to take advantage of that opportunity. Therefore, you don't have time usually for a traditional bank. Traditionally, you're never going to have time for grants. You're definitely not going to have time to sit there and go out and raise it through angel investors unless you're super good at that. So where does that leave you? Well, that leaves you on the same path I found myself so many years ago. The path seeking answers. And the answer landed at, well, take a look in the mirror. You. It landed at people just like you. Private investors, not these big angel investors, not traditional banks, not these guys driving the fancy cars, living in the mansions. No, no, no. Normal, everyday people that have maybe a couple bucks saved in the bank account. Maybe they got some cash value in their life insurance policy. Maybe they got an old 401k that they've moved into a self-directed IRA. Maybe they've got a current 401k that they can take up to a $50,000 loan from. You see, the person that you see every day, that in your mind, because the way they dress, the car they drive, and maybe the things you know, you think, they wouldn't be a good person to ask, they don't have money. That's the person that does have the money. But that's the person that doesn't act like a private investor. So you would have to present your opportunity to them so that it solved the problem for them. So what problem does the average person have? Well, look in the mirror again. What problems do you have? Well, probably you don't like making your car payment. You probably don't like making your spouse's car payment. You probably don't like those college loans that you got to pay every single month. You definitely don't like those credit card loans. So all of those problems are problems that your opportunity can solve. You're probably thinking, how? How can my opportunity solve all those problems? Well, let's just think about it. That person has those problems just like you probably do. But that person has a little bit of money saved somewhere, and that money is doing nothing. It is lazy. It's probably sitting in a bank account earning 0 to 3%. Maybe it's sitting in a 401k bouncing up and down. Maybe it's in a self-directed IRA just sitting in cash. Worst off, maybe it's sitting in the walls of their house as lazy equity, lazy money, not making anything for them. You've got the opportunity, and you've got the brains to make that opportunity work. They've got the money, so here's what you should do. Set a time with them. Don't tell them you need to borrow money. Don't tell them you want to present an opportunity. Tell them, I've got a great way to solve your problem. Now, you first need to know their problem. So maybe you could just take a guess. Hey, that car that you've got, how much is your car payment? Oh, it's $500 a month. Do you like making that car payment every month? Not at all. Hate it. Why would you even ask? Well, what if I was to make that car payment for you? How are you going to do that? You're just going to make my car payment? Well, maybe. That's where you can go into your creative solution to solving their car payment problem. They need $400, $500 a month for a car payment. What do you need? Money to fund your deal. So make it work. Tell them, listen, I know you've got a home equity line of credit, or I know you've got money in your 401k, or hey, you told me that you got this money sitting in the bank. What if you were to lend that money to me for this opportunity? I'll put you in a lien position on the property. I'll put you in a collateralized lien position. Maybe it's a mortgage on a house. Maybe it's a lien on whatever equipment it is. I don't know what your opportunity is, but they're going to want to be collateralized. And if you can't collateralize it, maybe you should ask them if they would like to partner in the deal. But if you're going to say partnership, you got to understand you're not going to just partner with them, because if they're married, you're going to partner with both of them. So make sure both parties, the husband and the wife, are in the same room. That'll save you and them a whole bunch of time. So when you present the opportunity to solve their problem, that's your number one job. Solve the problem. If they need $400 to $500 on that, well then figure out what interest rate you got to pay on the amount of money you need to make that happen. You have now just solved a pain problem for that person, which means your chance of getting funded for the deal are significantly better. And you know what? I gotta bet that your chances of something else are really good. And that is the chance of me getting you to click that subscribe button right there. And then right up above, there's a little bell. What I'd like you to do is smash that bell. Normally I'm gonna punch a punching bag or something, but you know what? I'm feeling kind of mellow today. So I'm not gonna be punching anything. If you feel like punching something, then turn around and punch something. Make sure it's not your cat, your dog, or definitely not your significant other. That will not go well. But anyway, thanks for subscribing and thanks for clicking the alerts button. We put tons of free content out for you to help you solve all your problems. And Here I'm trying to help you solve the problem of raising money. And let me mention again that book that I wrote a bunch of years ago, The Private Money Guide. This book's got all the same things in it. You want to put together your opportunity? Well, I've got all the specifics about how to create a perfect loan proposal, or you could just watch the YouTube video on it. This talks about where all the money is, how to analyze your deals, tips of all the deals and the structure of them. This has got some great stuff. You can get this book totally free by clicking the link up in the bio. But let's carry on. Just because I was looking to meet somebody, didn't always have success, but you know what? You did things to meet that right person. So I created the first of its kind. It's like a dating site, because if you were looking to date, you could go to the bars, the weddings, and do all that, or you could just go on a dating site. So I did the same thing for money. I created privatemoneyclub.com. I'll say that again, it's privatemoneyclub.com. We call it PMC. It is that dating site for money, because there's only two types of people on there. There are people who have money and they want to make more money. And then there are people who need money to make more money. So that's kind of like a dating site. There's men and there's women. Well, on our site, there's people with money and people that need money, and they all come together in the community and make deals happen. And you know what's so cool about privatemoneyclub.com? In making that deal happen, each of those parties are solving one another's problems. The problem the person with money has is they want to make more money, probably to pay those car payments. And the person who needs money needs that other person's money to create their opportunity. And that is all we did. We solved a problem, a really big problem. And I want you to solve your problems using Private Money Club. So go on to privatemoneyclub.com, create a profile. It costs you nothing. And you can post your deal in the community. You can go on and create a deal. Now, there are paid options, ways you can make your deal fancier and all this good stuff. But you know what? First and foremost, forget about the cost, because cost is only an issue in the absence of value. Go onto the site, create your profile, find the value, and then decide if you want to take part in it. And that's all I got for you today. I showed you how to solve your problem, and that problem was, at the beginning, I need money for my deal. So hey, if you liked this video, I got another recommendation for you. Check this video out. Real Private Lending is what it's called. I think that'll benefit you tremendously. See you on the next one.